yeah, I just want to be in the last group.
I don't know, one person. Whoever wins that game will secure their team in the final round. Next round, there will be 7 people volunteered because the winning team does not send another player. Ball's back. How we doing?
What's going on, Ludwig?
We're back, Steve.
Thank you, man. Listen, I just want to thank you, want to thank Red Bull for inviting me for the 3rd year in a row to play Simon Says with the Streamers. Are you kidding me? Amazing. I am so excited, and I'll tell you why I'm really excited. Finally, this 3rd year, we're going to have a new winner. Because the first 2 years, we had the same person win. They're not here this year, so a brand new winner for year number 3 of the Streamer Games.
Shout out Sam Bucha. He might be the GOAT.
Sammy, yeah.
He is the GOAT.
He's the GOAT of the Simon
So new winner, new shirt. New shirt out.
That's right. I also want to do just a little shout out back east to my my friends and family, my lovely wife in White Plains, New York. Love you, everyone. All right.
Shout out Steve, by the way. If you guys don't know, this year, Steve, you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with your wife. Steve, you told me that. That's crazy.
I tell you what, it was my wife's idea. My wife is the best. She's always looking for adventure. And she said, we're going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, 19,341 feet. And I said, is that a you thing or an us thing? And she's...
I started abroad in my home garage because the workwear industry wasn't working for my buddies in the trades. We're building something better.
Today, so...
Glad you're here, Steve. I'm going to let you take it away.
All right.
All I'm going to do is, are these our A competitors? All right, y'all. You guys are in Steve's hands. Good luck. You'll need it.
Oh, man. Welcome. So, here's the way we do this. For every round, we do one quickie round to get the mistakes out of your system. It's just going to be 10 seconds of Simon Says. Doesn't count. You can't get out right now. I will give you the official start when we begin the game. Sounds good? So this is just a warm-up. Thank you very much for participating. Here we go. Hands up. Oh, come on, man. Simon says hands up. Simon says wave. Simon says stop. Simon says run. Simon says stop. Hands down. Simon says hands down. You ready? Are you ready? All right. This counts. Wait, do you have a question? Hold on, let me come closer.
Sorry, question. If we move our hand but don't do the full action, are we out?
If you, I'm gonna be the final call on that. All right? It really depends. If there's 2 people who do a tiny little move and you're the only 2 people left, then we got to do a do-over. All right? But if you're the only one who does even the tiniest move, I'm very particular. All right? As Slime and Pete say, I am the orator, and I run a tight ship. So here we go. This counts. Here we go. Hands up. Good. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Simon says lean this way. Lean this way. You're out. Simon says stand up straight. Simon says hands up. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Run in place. Run in place. Simon says run. Simon says stop. Hands up. You're out. Simon hands up. Simon says both hands up. Wave it around. You moved your right hand, you're out. Simon says wave. Simon says stop.
Oh
hands
my
down.
goodness.
Simon says hands down. Nicely done. Now we pick up
US, Canada, and France are out. It's only Mexico, internet or worldwide, alumni, and all-stars.
Simon says manos en la cabeza. I was watching the live stream from my dressing room, and people are writing the comments, and they're like, what is France gonna do? I don't know. Here we go. Summits is up, Summits is down, Summits is up, Summits is down, Summits is up, Summits is down, Summits is run, Summits is stop, hands up, Summits is hands up, hands down, Summits is hands down, run in place, Summits is run, Summits is stop, hands up, you're out, Summits is hands up, hands down, Summits is hands down, hands up, Summits is head, Summits is hips, Summits is head, Summits is hips, Summits is nose, Summits is top, Summits is stop, hands up, Summits is hands up, wave it around, you're out, Summits is wave it around, Summits is stop, hands down, you're out. Worldwide! Congratulations, Worldwide.
Yo, Team Worldwide, you guys have already moved on to the championship bracket. You guys are killing it this year at Streamer Games. Now I need 7 competitors from the remaining teams to submit their next players. 7 more players, come forward.
Wow, wow, wow.
And then, Steve, I actually want to flip this.
Yeah.
I want to have their backs to the crowd. I want to have them have a little more pressure. You mind flipping?
You want to flip it around?
Yeah, have them stand here.
We can do that.
All right, let's give it a shot. Competitors, you're going to be standing on this side. Come over here. Come over here. You're going to be, no, like dead ass. Simon Says come over here. And you guys are going to be facing this way now. Back to the crowd. You're going to be facing Steve here.
All right.
So we got Sakura, Mari, Fumi Bean, Suku. All right. You guys ready?
All right. Round 2. Warm up. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Simon says hands on head. Simon says hands on hips. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Before we start, I love that the fans in the stands are playing Simon Says along with us. Thank you for doing that. Simon says le main sur la tête. Ah, that's just for you, Frenchie. Yeah. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. The game begins. If you're out, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Here we go. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says nose, Simon says belly, Simon says nose, Simon says belly, Simon says shoulders, Simon says tap, Simon says stop, hands up, you're out, you're out. Simon says hands up, wave it around, you're out. Simon says wave, Simon says stop, hands down, you're out, you're out. And then there were 2.
Oh my God, US and Mexico and Canada.
Simon says stop. Hands
My
down.
money's on Canada.
Says hands down.
Oh, Canada, our home in native land.
Native land.
Oh.
True patriot love in all of us command. Here we go. Summit is up, summit is down, summit is nose, summit is shoulder, summit is opposite shoulder, summit is touch this, summit is hands up. You're out, you didn't touch your nose.
Ah! These damn ads! I don't want to play Valorant. Sorry, I don't want to play Valorant. Well, my money was on Canada, and Canada just lost. Just lost the whole house. Put the whole house on Canada. Now it's gone.
Someone wants to go to an instant replay?
Apparently, and I give every team 1 chance per day to call a replay.
Right.
Canada is claiming that the team Mexico might have cheated to win that last round.
Really?
Steve, we don't like cheaters.
Listen, I don't like cheaters at all.
So we're gonna take a look at the replay. We rewind to see if Danny didn't hit the correct Simon Says orders. I believe it's gonna be before this. I believe it was earlier in the round.
Wow, 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 wow.
We're gonna find this out. We'll rewind in 1 moment. Everybody gets one. It was the round before this. It was the hands up call. Hands up call.
I don't know.
First round, very
Mexico cheat.
We're gonna take a look.
We're
gonna take a look. Everybody
knows?
gets one, guys.
If I missed it, it's on me. But
Everybody gets one. This would mean Canada instant moves on. Team Mexico would still be hunting for their qualifying
This is really loud.
win. And take a look at the VAR. It's new to the Streamer Games this year. It hasn't come up as much as I would thought. I didn't think it would come up in Streamer Games Simon Says. But here we are. Jay, you seem quite confident.
what do you think?
Okay, so they're checking to see if Mexico cheated.
It was when. All right, I think we have the replay. Hands
Okay,
up,
here we go.
hands down.
Let's see.
Touch your nose, touch your
belly,
hips, touch your nose, touch your hips,
belly,
touch your shoulders,
nose.
tap your shoulders, hands up. Oh! Oh! It's right there, no? Danny had his hands up. Danny, you should have been out. Team Mexico does not qualify. Team Canada's moving on. Call overturned on the field.
I was betting on Canada the whole time.
That's why we do VAR.
But wow.
Oh, wow.
Team Canada will be joining Team Worldwide. Now, Mexico, you still have a chance to qualify. You have to submit one person for this round of 6. This round of 6. Successful challenge overturned. Canada.
Wow.
It's drama this year, no?
Huh?
It's drama.
It really is.
Everyone's cheating these days.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Mexico.
All right.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm sure in the heat of the moment, he probably didn't realize. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, of course. I don't think it was any malice. Round of applause
No
for Danny
malice.
Vance. No malice.
No malice.
No malice.
No malice.
All right, guys. I need 6 competitors for the teams who have not yet qualified. Come on up. Don't be
Why
shy.
not
Come on
7?
up. It's your turn for Simon Says. You guys are going to be over here. This side, this side. See if you're on this
Oh,
side.
I'm over here.
You're going to be facing this way. All right, we got Cutie Cinderella, Joe Bart, Jason the Ween, Sea Dog VA, Marianne, and what's
I
going
think
on?
France
Good
is
luck
gonna
out there,
win this
Wendy.
one. France!
All right. Steve, I leave it in your hands.
All right. Here we go. Just like before, we got a warm-up round. Give yourself, Simon says, give yourself just a little more space, a little arm room, so we can extend. Nice. Here we go. Hands up. This is just the warm-up. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Simon says one hand up, both hands up. Simon says both hands up. That's it. Simon says. Simon says both hands up. Simon says wave. Simon says stop. Simon says hands down. All right, we begin. Yes? Here we go. Interesting, Mexico in the same position as the last game. I'm going to have to use my periphery a little harder. Here we go. Oh, you're going to switch. I love it. Very nice. Very menschy. Very menschy. All right, here we go. You ready? This counts. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Simon says up. Simon says down. Simon says lean. Simon says stand up straight. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Simon says wave. Simon says stop. Hands down. Simon says hands down. These guys are very good. Yeah, nice. All right. Let's pick up
Joe
the pace.
Bart! Joe
Summit is up,
Dart!
Summit is down, Summit is hips, Summit is belly, Summit is hips, Summit is belly, Summit is nose, Summit is ears, Summit is run, Summit is stop, hands up, Summit is hands up, hands down. You move. Summit is hands down, faster hands up, you're out. Here we go. Simon says one hand up. Both hands up. Simon says both hands up. Wave it around. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Run in.
Zaxby's has 10 traditional or
Oh my gosh! Zaxby's! Zaxby's!
10 wings for $10 at Zaxby's. The math is math.
I'm missing a Zaxby's.
Zaxby's
Stop!
got the sauce.
Skip the ad!
Simon says hands out. Simon says deep knee bend. Stand up straight. Simon says stand up straight. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Here we go. Simon says head, Simon says shoulders, Simon says head, Simon says shoulders, Simon says head, Simon says shoulders, Simon says run. Simon says stop. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Wave it around. Wave it around. Simon says wave. Simon says stop. Wave it around. Simon says wave. Simon says run. Simon says you didn't wave. You're out. Simon says stop. Hands down. Simon says hands down. All right. And then there were two. Simon says face each other. Simon says high five each other.
Simon says kill each other!
Foul. Simon says stand up straight. Nice. Face me, please. Face me. Face me. Simon says face me. And here we go.
Woo!
Summits his head, summits his hip, summits his head, summits his hip, summits his head, summits his belly. Summits his top. Summits his top. Hands up. Summits his hands up. Hands down.
Oh my God.
Wow. 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 Merci, Victor.
Great performance by Marion and Team
Wow.
France. Steve, I'm telling you, that event is where people get the most serious.
This is unbelievable.
You should see the
People,
fervor.
they are so focused on this. I mean, could you imagine if people were this focused in everyday life? It would be.
Oh, we'd be too productive as a country.
Oh,
We can't have that.
Forget about it.
All right, Steve.
What's next?
We have one more qualifying round.
Okay.
And then it's two big groups.
Oh man, let's do this.
All right, let's get our next group. If you have not yet qualified, please bring forward. All right, yep, come over here. Stand here this way. Right here, right here. Who else coming up? Jinxie, you're coming up? Yes, sir. All right, and then we have Kat's up. And then we have Evelyn, how you doing?
All right.
All right. So just coming in. All right. So this is gonna be the last qualifier. If you win for your team. You'll move on to the championships. If you lose, you still have the consolation bracket. You one more team. This is the last 5. Hey, good luck to you all. See you in
Last
your
5.
hands.
All right. Simon says spread yourselves out a little bit. All right. Here, warm up. Warm up first. Simon says up. Simon says down. Simon says jump. Simon says one more. Simon says hands up. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Just to warm up. Just to warm up. And now, this counts. You ready? All right, here we go. Woo! Simon says hands on head. Simon says hips. Simon says belly. Simon says shoulders. Simon says opposite shoulders. Simon says opposite elbows. Simon says tap. Simon says stop. Hands up. I wasn't even going fast. I wasn't even going fast. That was like first grade speed. Oh no, sorry. All right, here we go. Simon says hands down. All right, here we go. And what's really interesting, he was so focused, he was so into it. All right, whatever. Next time, Simon says put up your right hand. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop, both hands up. Well, it appears that only the ladies are left in this round. Rule the world. Simon says hands down. All right, here we go. Little mishmash from all over our globe. Mexico, UK, France. All right, here we go. Simon says hands up, Simon says hands down, Simon says run. Simon says stop, Simon says give me a big jump. Woo! One more. Woo! Hands up, hand up. You're out, you're out. There you go!
Yo, what is yo, the noises he's making?
Championships.
All right.
It was always meant to be you, man.
Panda Express!
Team USA, make your way down. Team Alumni, everybody from the team. I need everybody from the team who has not qualified. Team France, come on down. Team UK, come on down. All right, now do me a favor, guys. Mix yourselves amongst. Don't be all
USA!
I need team alumni, guys. Team alumni, you are competing. Team alumni, come on in. Everyone from team alumni, come on in. This is a consolation bracket. You can win this and get 5th place for your team. You can still earn 5th place for your team. Guys, please do not stand next to your teammates. Try to split yourselves in randomly. Who else are we missing? We got UK, USA, alumni. Who are we missing? France! Eh, les Françaises! Les Françaises! Les femmes, bien! Ouais, viens tous! Viens tous! To the left more. Guys, we're all gonna go a bit to my left. We're going a bit to my, everybody come down. Everybody's coming down this way. We're gonna try to go in between these speakers. We're gonna shuffle left a bit, shuffle left a bit. All right, hey, l'équipe France, est-ce que vous pouvez mélanger avec les autres équipes? Ne sois pas à côté de notre français. Fluently.
Oh, so
All right, so just to clarify, listen up.
My
If you win
retainer.
this, you get 5th place for your team. If you get 2nd, 6th place for your team. So on and so forth. Does that make sense? All right, guys. Give it up for your competitors. Steve, you got a big group. Take it away.
All right, so this is consolation. Consolation. All right, here we go. You ready? Quick warm up. Here we go. Hands up. Simon says. Simone says. Hands up. Yeah, now do it. Simon says hands down. Only do if I say Simon says first. Yeah? Okay, here we go. This counts. Wish you all the best of luck. This is still for points. We love you. And your crumpets. Here we go. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says up, Simon says down, hands up. Simon says hands up, Simon says wave, Simon says stop, hands down. Come here, give me a hug. Come here.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Man, you are. All right. Now, you know what? It's not his thing. He does a lot of things well. Simon says just ain't his thing. We all excel in different stuff. Simon says hands down. All right, faster. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says run. Simon says stop, hands up, hands up. Simon says hands up, wave it around. Simon says wave, Simon says stop, hands down, hands down. Simon says hands down. All right. Is it Kira, right? Kira, please. Yeah. Kira, please, yeah. We walked in today at the same time, and she said, I am so nervous. And I said, you have good a chance. You and your hair have a good a chance of winning as anybody. So you're still here. All right. You're still here. All right, here we go. Kira, please. All right, here we go. Simon says head, Simon says hips, Simon says run, Simon says stop, hands up, you're out. Simon says hands up, hands down, you're out. Simon says hands down, faster, hands up, you're out, you're out, you're out, you're out. Yeah.
Joe Bart!
Here we go. Simon says, one hand up, Simon says run. Simon says stop, other hand up, both hands up. You move. Simon says both hands up, wave it around. Simon says wave, Simon says stop, hands down, you're out. Simon says hands down, faster, hands up. And Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says nose. Simon says belly, Simon says nose, Simon says belly, Simon says nose, Simon says belly, Simon says shoulders. Opposite shoulders, Simon says opposite shoulders, Simon says tap, Simon says stop, hands up, hands up. We stop tapping, you're out. Yeah. 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 No. I just called him. Yes. Yeah, you're too much tapping. Too much tapping. No, I didn't do that. All right, you can do anything after. Simons his hands up. Simons his hands down. All right, let's go. Simons his head. Simons his belly. Simons his shoulders. Simons his nose. Hands up. Now you're out.
Gilbert!
Simons his hands up. Simons his hands down. Simons his lean forward. Stand up straight. Simons his stand up. Hands up. Simons his hands up. Hands down. Simons his hands down. Let's wait.
Missing shots, you swear.
Oh
you
my
should've hit.
god,
The
I don't
sensitivity
care,
might be
Aim
holding you
Labs.
back. That's where Aim Labs.
No,
Your sensitivity
let me
finder
skip
comes
it.
in.
Let me
As you
skip
play
it.
your favorite.
It's a
task
20-minute. Oh.
We
Simons is up. Simons is down. Simons is run. Simons is run. Simons is stop. Simons is give you a big jump. Woo! That's it. Hands up. Hands up. You moved her out. Simons is hands up. Simons is hands down. Simons is separate. Simons is face each other. Simons is shake hands. Simons is hands down. Face me, please. Face me. Face me. Nice. Simons is face me. And here we go. Simons is up, Simons is down, Simons is up, Simons is down, Simons is nose, Simons is shoulder, Simons is nose, Simons is shoulder, Simons is nose. Simons is tap, Simons is tap. Hands up, hands up. We stop tapping. You're still and you're tapping. Wait. Simon says stop tapping. Simon says hands down. I said stop tapping. You were both still tapping. So we need to continue. You're both still in. Here we go. Simon says put up your left hand. Wave it. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop. Both hands up. Everybody saw you. Magnifique. Magnifique. Oh, dear. Nice job. Nice job. Second place, nothing to sneeze at. Nice job.
That's not second place.
Francais.
Simon says run, Simon says stop, they're still running. And they stopped like a second after I stopped.
You're trying to VAR what?
Wait,
Now what?
Simon says run, Simon says stop. They didn't stop, neither of them.
They never stopped.
Or they stopped way too late. I mean, it's like, how long are we giving?
And wait, let me confirm with my refs. Do you guys have a VAR left?
We only have one. We haven't used it.
VAR! Call it!
Now what's going
They're
on?
always calling VAR on me. I give them one a day. I give them one a day.
Right, but the guy, are they talking about the incident earlier with the guy from the UK?
No, they're saying there was a moment where they were both running in place and you said, Simon says stop, and they never stopped running.
Yeah.
And they're saying they should be out because they never stopped.
And who is this? The ladies at the end?
The ladies, I think he's against the women.
That's a hearty accusation, man.
Well,
as a modern day orator,
we're going to take a look
day orator,
at the instant replay. Everyone gets one. Steve, give me just a moment. I apologize. We'll take a look. Always some drama. An interesting moment to use it, I will say. This is the difference of about 1 or 2 points. And there is a double point competition coming up in PKs. That means even if they got cheated, whatever's called on the field stands. If somebody steps off the line and it was missed, it does stand. So we're gonna take a look at the replay. We're trying to find this moment. Every point matters for some. All right, we are pulling up the instant replay right now. This will confirm or deny
What will
the
it
call of the
be?
field. All right. It was after this, though, correct? Sorry, this was not about Sea-Dog. This was not about the tapping. This is about the running with the ladies specifically. Well, hold up. Actually, wait.
So was cheating.
Wait. Just to confirm, I'm sorry, Joe.
What?
I missed that. That was a VAR call.
No, but I said I'm gonna call VAR if you don't get out.
You just did the VAR there.
Doesn't matter. You didn't stop it.
Okay, now it doesn't matter.
He was also
All right,
out.
we're watching. So he's doing 2 VAR calls to confirm here. It's after this, sorry. It's not the tapping, it's the running in the place of the alumni in France. Let's go forward a bit. Scrub a little more forward.
Alumni in France, if they're out,
Left, I believe.
then that means Joe wins or the UK dude.
So we're going to go past this section. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. It's going to be after Connor gets out. So that's Connor's elimination. They're saying right here something happened. All right, hands up, hands down. Bow forward. Simon says stand up. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Okay. So far everything's kosher. Now we wait for the helicopter. I remember this vividly. Like it happened mere minutes ago. Simon says run. Wait, whoa, whoa, was that it? Simon says run.
Oh!
Actual clowns. Call confirmed. France wins. Are you kidding me? She stops. Bro, she took 3 steps. What are we talking about? She's bilingual. That was fine. That was fine. How is that cheating? Simon says stop, and then she does like 3 steps. That's 3 steps. She stopped. A, she stopped. B, Kiera wasn't a part of it. And it was 3 steps. It was 3 steps.
That's 5. That's 5.
I'm kidding.
5 steps.
So now we have to ask ourselves, how many steps is too many steps? So wait.
Oh my god, of course there's an ad. They're gonna call in Skip!
So just to be clear, we're going to confirm with the refs. In no universe would Team USA win. They got absolutely crushed, at least by the alumni. But let's go back to our refs. Steve, I need to have a talk with you. Steve, generally in the game of Simon Says, as I understand it, you'll make a call, and then you give the processing time of somebody to adhere to that call.
Yeah, and it actually happened several times with French players where they kept on going, and then I called them out. The bottom line is, did they stop immediately, or did they go a quarter of a second longer? And the answer is, they stopped, but they stopped half a second after he stopped. So they still followed the command, and if you follow the command before I give the next command, then it's good.
So you would say, ruling on the field stands, France wins?
I would say ruling on the field stands.
And that's from Steve Max himself, everybody. And a good clarification, it's when the next command comes out, that is the amount of time you have to make the stop. It is not how quickly your neurons can fire. I like that. All right, well, guys, a lot of drama. That was our consolation bracket. Let's get into the people who are actually good at Simon Says. Can my championship teams please come forward? Can all of my championship teams come forward? The Canadians, Team Mexico, the All-Stars, Team Worldwide, come on up. I need all competitors. All competitors. Team Canada, Team Mexico, Team Worldwide. All right, we're gonna be standing on this line here. Standing on this line here, about in line with the track. This is the final one.
This is the final.
This is for everything,
This
Steve.
is for all the marbles.
All the marbles.
Oh, man. Oh, Manischewitz.
We got our 4 teams coming up. All right, now, guys, you can't stand next to your teammates. You have to mix up. You can't stand next to your teammates. You must stand against someone from a different team. Do not stand next to a teammate. Ron, you can't stand over there. I'm gonna need you in line here.
Oh.
All right, you guys can spread out a little bit. You can spread out a little bit. Guys, come up to this line right here. Come up right here. Guys, come up to me. Come up to me. Come up to me. Come up right here. Come up right here. Guys, come right here. Come right here. Come right here. Ron, you gotta come forward. Come right here. Come right here, guys. Come right here. Go down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit. Spread out. Okay. All right. Okay. And now, don't stand next to one of your teammates. I think we're all set. Guys, you feel good? All right, this is for first, second, third, fourth place. If you're the last one alive for your team, you can win it for your team. Get it up for our competitors, everybody.
Ludwig, before we start the finals, I just want to say thanks again for having me for the third year. You're going to feel after the finals, you're going to feel a suction blow through here. It'll be me leaving because I have a 6 a.m. flight back to New York tomorrow morning. So thank you, brother. I want to thank you now. I didn't want to miss you afterwards because I know you're very busy.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve Max, everybody.
And by the way, my two boys, who both live on the left coast, they always make fun of me because I don't got enough followers. So if you have a moment, if you're sitting and your phone is in your hands, just look up at Simon Says Guy, S-E-Z, Simon Says Guy. Give me a follow. I would appreciate it. I love you, everyone. Thank you very much. All right, here we go.
Oh my
Folks,
God! Damn
Simon
it.
says hands up. This is a warm-up. Simon says hands down. That's all the warm-up you get, because if you're standing here, you earned your way. This is it. This is for all the enchiladas. It's for all the hot dogs. It's for all the crepes. Here we go. This counts. I wish you all the best of luck. Hands up. Thank you, my brother. See you next time. Okay, that was embarrassing. All right, here we go. Simon says hands up. Simon says hands down. Simon says nose. Simon says belly. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Wave it around. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop. Hands down. Down. All right, let's pick up the pace. Simon says up, Simon says down, Simon says run, Simon says stop. Hands up, hands up. You're still running, you're out. You put up your hands, you're out. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Nice job. Simon says hands on head, Simon says hips, hands on head. You're out, you're out, you're out. Okay, let's go, brother. Simon says move down. Simon says stop. Here we go. Simon says put up your left hand. I understand in Canada right and left are switched. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop. Both hands up, both hands up. Simon says both hands up. Wave it around. Simon says wave it. Simon says stop. Hands down. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Oui bien. Nice job. Here we go.
This is easy.
Simon says head. Simon says hip. Simon says head. Simon says hip. Simon says run. Simon says stop. Hands up. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Hands down. Hands down. You're out. Simon says hands down. Faster. Hands up. Hands up. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Simon says move down. Simon says move down. Simon says stop. Wow.
Only Mexico All-Star and the international.
I'm afraid
team.
if she wins, she is going to run around and hug every damn person here today because she was so excited earlier. No, they were down. They were down. Yeah, they were down. All right, here we go. And by the way, you hugged everyone when you won your earlier round, except, come on, man. Here we go. Simon says loosen up. This is it. Simon says stop. Here we go. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Hands up. Simon says hands up. Simon says give me a big smile. Simon says smile with teeth. Simon says serious face. Hands down. Simon says hands down. Big smile. Simon says big smile. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Nice job. Thank you.
One Mexico player
And then there
left.
were 4. By the way, if 2 people net out with the next move, then we have to have a redo with those 2 people to see who will take 3rd place. Here we go. Summits is up, Summits is down, Summits is nose, Summits is ears, Summits is nose, Summits is ears. Hands up. Summits is hands up, hands down. Summits is hands down. Faster, hands up.
Mexico! Mexico versus the All-Star team. Oh my goodness.
Simon says, what is your name? Cutie?
Yeah.
Cutie.
Yeah.
Just Cutie. Simon says, what is your name? Jack. Jack? Cutie? Jack? Simon says, ¿Cómo te llama?
Evelyn Ortiz.
Evelina. Evelina. Cutie? Jack? Evelina. Here we go. Boy, you're really playing in your socks. Feel the earth move under your feet. Tumbling down. Here we go. Summits is up, Summits is down, Summits is up, Summits is down, Summits is nose, Summits is belly, Summits is nose, Summits is belly, Summits is nose, Summits is belly, Summits is ears, Summits is nose, Summits is ears, Summits is nose. Hands up. Summits is hands up, hands down, Summits is hands down, Summits is nose, Summits is belly, Summits is shoulders, Summits is tap, Summits is tap, Summits is stop. You didn't tap the first time, you're out. But, 3rd place, Simon says, All-Stars get 1st and 2nd. All right.
Which is massive. They've had a rough day today.
Oh, man.
They needed this win.
Listen, whatever it takes, man. All-Stars, come here. Come here.
Hey, nice win.
Now, wait a minute.
How about a little head-to-head just for...
Hold on a second.
Steve, if I'm correct, you give out a special prize to someone who wins Simon
Yeah,
Says.
we have to do, I have a special T-shirt. Where's my T-shirt boy? Where's my T-shirt boy?
Have a T-shirt, boy?
I have my very own T-shirt boy. Is it? Where's it? There he is. Okay. Simon says, "Get ready." He's in a in a revival band from Hall & Oates, and listen. Simon says, "Thank you."
I never stopped smiling, and everyone else did.
Never,
And he never said stop smiling.
never said stop smiling.
And I kept smiling, and everyone else got serious. I don't want to get out on that.
He wants to.
You never
VIR out of the left field.
stop smiling.
He said Simon said serious face.
Yeah, but then he said smile again, and never said stop smiling. So you want to call?
No, I said.
You want to call it VAR?
I said no. What
Hold
did I
up,
say?
hold up.
Simon says serious face. Yeah.
Yeah, he came back to the smile later.
Did you not call a VAR during Ray's moment?
No. We did not call VAR for
All
anything.
right, it's always drama here.
All
I
right.
tell you, Steve.
It's my chance, man. It's my chance. It's my team. I gotta try.
Okay. So you're saying
I never stopped smiling, and everyone else did, and he did not. He said, smile, go back, smile again, and I never stopped smiling. He never said to stop smiling.
but everyone smiled?
Everyone smiled and stopped. and
Ah,
then
it doesn't
smiled
count. I feel like is the idea that they have to hold the smile, or is it when you say Simon says smile, they have to smile?
again. He said something, and I never stopped.
With Hardee's Original Bag, bigger is better. Get full-size faves like our double cheese.
Smiling.
Yeah.
Right. And then I say Simon says serious face. Simon says smile.
Yeah.
Serious face. But then if you keep smiling,
He's
But-
basically
but-
saying
you-
he's saying you said Simon says smile, and you never said Simon says serious
Look,
face.
you said, and then you said smile again, and you never said serious face.
Yeah.
Again. So he should kept smiling.
So you're basically saying they should have smiled through the whole duration.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
I don't know. But then what do you do? Go back to your regular face?
If you said serious face, yeah.
I don't know. Do we have a regular face?
I feel like Steve.
Is that like, wait, is that,
It's your
I'm
call.
gonna take a
is
look.
that standing
It's your call.
bitch
It's your
face?
call.
I think he's
Because
basically
if-
saying you needed to
Yeah.
be here.
If you're saying serious face and smiling,
Yeah. I mean, listen,
two
I,
opposites.
Subit, I'll take a look at it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. I have
let's
to
take
try for
a
my
look.
team.
Let's
I
take
think
a
it's
look.
unlikely.
For my team.
I think it's unlikely. Heard.
It's always something.
So really, all we're looking for, simply put, is a smile.
It's always something.
Now, just to be clear, though,
Maybe I should just throw this shirt into the crowd.
VAR simply comes down to the visual
Maybe I should just, woo!
smile. If they do, I'm gonna count it.
Seriously though, follow me. Simon, I've been languishing at under 10K for like a year and a half. I
Audio
can't.
on the replay. I want you to know we don't have audio on the replay, so the replay is going to be if they smile. And if they smile, I'm going to pass
They
it.
smile once and they then go serious, and then we go back to smiling.
Yes.
He said it.
But I'm saying
they never go serious
if I
again.
see them smile, but they don't have, there's not like you're saying they never go serious again. But
Oh, no. They should smile, and then
Yes.
eventually they'll just go serious again without being called. That's what I'm saying.
we'll take a look.
Yeah. I just want to check because that's what I.
We have our VAR.
By the way, if two people get out with the next move, we have to have a meeting with those two people. Here we go. Somebody's up, somebody's down, somebody's nose, somebody's here, somebody's nose, somebody's here. Hands up. Somebody's hands up, hands down. Somebody's hands down. Faster, hands up. Simon says, what is your name? Simon says, ¿cómo te llamas? Judy Jack. Here we go.
I'm wondering if there's a
out
rule
on the next
Oh, they're discussing.
about whether or not it resets when someone gets out. For example, if you're saying, Simon, wave your hand, and then someone's out, is your expectation? That's what I'm going to
We can
ask.
ask Steve. Big dogs in the house.
That's what I'm going to ask. We're going right now. All right, Steve.
What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
Ludwig, talk to me, sister.
Steve, I got two things to say. First off, we're getting rid of this VAR next year.
Interesting. We're getting rid of VAR, huh?
At least for Simon Says, they're too sweaty.
You have this guy around. Why do you need me?
Also, in the future, guys, a VAR call does not mean you go to your phone, read your chat, look at the replay, and then make the call. It means you call it on the field. Just to clarify that. That is some bullshit, I will be honest. You look back at your chat and then watch the replay and then make the call. You have to call it on the field.
I can't see them when I'm playing.
You got 4 teammates.
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's imagine I'm playing Simon Says. Dream with me for a moment.
Okay.
I've never gotten to play with you.
Well, let's do it right now.
And you say, Simon Says, wave your hands.
Yeah.
And then, check it out. What happens to him?
No, then he would be out.
Now, if I stop while watching him get out, am I out?